LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Nice to have you. It's the Tyler Reddick Show. Todd Bailing in sunny, hot Phoenix, Arizona, joined by my three partners spread out over the beautiful state of Wisconsin, starting with Brian Schmidt, who's over in Utzberg, USA, on the eastern part of the state. Hi, Brian.
Good morning. Yes, the other big series kicks off today. The IndyCar series gets going in about an hour from St. Petersburg. So right after us, you can watch IndyCar, and I think you can leave your TV on one channel all day and see all the racing. It's a beautiful thing.
That? That's pretty cool. PJ Noodleman on the left coast in Trempealeau. Hi.
Hey. We have sunshine here, but we're not as warm as you in Arizona, Todd.
It's been ridiculously hot. And, of course, Dan Margetta, who's back. We're ping-ponging back and forth over the state in St. Francis. Hi.
Hey, yeah, back in Wisconsin for a change after 2 weeks on the road, and 2 drafting tracks and now a road course to start the year. And could Tyler Reddick be the first person ever to win 3 races in a row? I mean,
not 3 in a row, 3 to start the year.
To start the season, yeah. He's got a shot.
I kind of thought it was cool that they mentioned Matt Kenseth, the last driver to win the first 2 races of the year. What was that, 09, I think? So it's been a while. Pretty cool stuff to hear it mentioned. He's on the pole at 88.380 miles per hour, which is 1 minute and 37.6 seconds to get around that Circuit of the Americas. I don't have the track length for that. That's a long-ass lap. How long is Circuit? Do we know of the Americas?
And it's the shorter circuit, too. They're not running the full Formula One circuit anymore. They don't go all the way down the back to that tight hairpin and that long straightaway. They cut the corner.
Segments will be at lap 20 and lap 45. It is a 95-lap event. As Brian mentioned, it will be televised on Fox at the completion of the IndyCar race. IndyCars come on as soon as this program is over at 11 o'clock. The green flag is scheduled at Circuit of the Americas for 2:49 Central Standard Time. This is the last race until late in the year that it will be standard time because daylight savings is next week. Don't forget to put your clocks ahead 1 hour when you go to bed. You lose an hour of sleep, but it doesn't matter because it's light out for an extra hour in the afternoon as we start warming up and heading for good old summertime. By the way, 80s today, 0% chance of rain in Austin, Texas, so it's a perfect day for a race. Tyler Reddick also won last week. Geez, it's been the Reddick show. It's been Daytona, Atlanta, Tyler Reddick on the pole today, where he has just been awesome in qualifying ever since they started racing here. And he will start again from the pole. Keep that all in mind when we're making our picks later, because actually we're not doing a real good job on picks. I thought I'd throw that out there. Dan, you damn near had her last week when Carson Hocevar, well, of course, I had Christopher Bell last week, so he was taken out after that Hocevar dude, caution Hocevar, tried to put his car where there really wasn't any room. His foot is not connected to his brain. Yes, he is showing all kinds of talent. There's a potential there. But what he really needs is for somebody to slap the shit out of him and tell him, listen, you want to be a winner here? You got to do things just a little differently. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not doing that on purpose. PJ, you saw an interview with him. Who did it?
It was with Jeff Gluck, yes, and he was talking about how do you anticipate people to pay you back? And in Carson's mind, he feels like he's not doing it. He says, I don't do it with intention. I don't intentionally wreck people. And if somebody intentionally wrecks me as retribution, then I feel like I owe them one because they did it on purpose. And that's kind of his philosophy on that. So it's like, okay, so your bad decision is just that. It's not intentionality. It's just that you're freaking stupid. Okay,
So then it's okay?
I got it. Okay.
In other words, he's just trying to rattle her cage, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. And he really does, even though he acts like he doesn't take all that with a grain of salt. He takes it all with a grain of salt, but he loves that people are comparing him to Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Well, who wouldn't?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Before Dale died, I thought he was an asshole. I mean, I didn't care a lot for him. I had a sticker on my file cabinet at work of Calvin and Hobbes, the Calvin kid, peeing on the number 3. Yeah, I had that on my. I did not care for Dale Earnhardt. I thought he was an ass. But off the track, he was a pretty awesome human being. And I don't want to see anybody die, even Carson Hocevar for that matter. But I'm just saying.
Even Carson Hocevar?
No, I wouldn't wish death on somebody. I'd like to go to heaven someday, Todd. But I just don't think, because, I don't know, I think his mind, I think he's autistic and he is somewhere on the spectrum, or else he's really freaking stupid.
That's interesting. I think the stupidity at this point is getting old. If you are in a position to win a race, and he certainly is that, you need to try to get your head out of your ass a little bit, because this I was just trying for it thing, that shtick isn't going to last real long.
Especially on what happened last week with that overtime. I mean, everybody knew nobody was going to go with him. I mean, he knew in his mind he didn't have any partners because he hadn't made any friends. He's made enemies all race long. So in his mind, get to the front is what I got to do. But you can't just drive through somebody to get to the front. I mean, there really wasn't any kind of space there. You just bulldozed in there and crashed everybody. And that's a video game move. That's not a real life move. And we can't be having video game moves in real life here. You're going to have to wake up and kind of understand your surroundings a little bit and see, what's acceptable and what's not. Just anybody could just blast through everybody all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, Atlanta was just spectacular last week. All the racing was great. If we remember back, Tony Stewart, when he trashed Goodyear and came up with why are they going to repave this place? We need a tire that'll last, and we'll be able to race on this thing and put on a better show. I can't imagine that the show could be any better than what we've had since the repave. It's really been outstanding. So keep all that in mind. I just it's almost must see. I haven't been there since the repave, and it sounds like it's going to have to be one of those places that you're going to have to go to. And but like Brian pointed out last week, they're going to probably need to put it at a better time of the year.
Yeah, I don't know if they will, because it's always been traditionally that time of the year for Atlanta. And like last weekend, you had, I think Friday during the day was beautiful. It was like in the 80s, and then they had monsoons on Saturday, which delayed the stuff, and then it was, 40 degrees colder on Sunday. So you just don't know what kind of weather you're going to get, and NASCAR is kind of in a box when you're going to run this many races, and you're at the mercy of the weather, and, you don't have any racing in California, even though Bakersfield's a great track, where the weather is really nice. You don't want to race in those locations, so you're kind of stuck trying to race in some of these places where the weather is iffy.
I have to think now. Bakersfield, is that Kern County?
Yeah.
Yes, where the ARCA series ran last night, and ARCA put on a great race.
Kevin Harvick's, that's the name of it is. Oh, that's just great. Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway.
Which is probably why NASCAR doesn't want to go there.
Exactly, Brian.
That's the place where Ty Majeski once won $32,000, and didn't the lights?
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah, the lights went out.
It didn't have lights or something, and they had to stop it before the end of the race, I believe.
There was an accident that knocked out the whole power grid out.
Oh,
there.
that's what it was.
Not an accident at the track. It was outside of the track.
We are very happy you're listening today, and if you'd like to participate in this program, you can do so by calling us at 414-421-7901. We are based out of the Milwaukee, Wisconsin market, but of course, This is the internet, so it's the entire universe. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a break and be back in just a couple of minutes.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Say, speaking of Chimney Mechanics, they have a special deal just for LTN listeners. If you call them up or go to their, you can look them up on Facebook. It's the easiest way, or go to chimneymechanics.com. But go there until March 15th. By the way, rabbit, it's the month of March. In like a lion, out like a lamb. The discount is until the 15th. You can get $50 off any chimney inspection, sweep, or repair, or fireplace, or any of that. Imagine the chimney or fireplace. There's $50 off dryer vent cleaning. There's $100 off air duct cleaning. It's for Wisconsin addresses only. I know they go all over the Midwest, but it's just for Wisconsin addresses. See, there's that Wisconsin connection there. So check them out and take advantage of Chimney Mechanics and mention LTN when you contact Jasper. And that's the way to do it there. All right, so this week we're dealing with courts again. I kind of been following it a little bit. It's a pissing match, really. Joe Gibbs and Chris Gabehart. Chris Gabehart was moved from the crew chief role into essentially the chief operating officer of the company. But he did not get the responsibility that a chief operating officer got. They didn't treat him like a guy who's supposed to be running it, particularly when it came with with Ty Gibbs. He's the heir apparent. He's the guy. Gabehart has talked this week about how Ty Gibbs wasn't required to be at driver meetings. Any decisions about Gibbs were done by Grandpa or members of the family, which I guess includes his mother, is she really running the show over there, Brian? She's the one, I guess, right?
Sure seems like it. I mean, it sure seems like it, and kind of, the results are kind of showing for themselves. Yeah, a couple cars are running pretty good, but it sure seems like she's, more worried about what is going on with Ty Gibbs than what the rest of the team is doing.
And, some of it, it's human nature, I suppose, because the kid's name is Gibbs and he's the chosen one and all of that. And let's face it, we know he has talent. However, it has not translated to the Cup Series. It was just fine in ARCA. It was just fine in Xfinity Norp Series, but it really hasn't translated all the way up to the Cup Series, and they're trying to do everything and anything in their power to get him to win. He's going to win, all right? He's not going to go his whole career without getting a win, but, he's making him a little bit nervous. By now he should have won. I think we can all agree with that. So this has all led to a rift because Gabehart was pretty much told that he had, even though he was the chief operating officer, that he had to be the crew chief for the kid. And he didn't get along with the kid. And even though he got $25,000 extra on his paycheck, supposedly every week, to be the crew chief, it was only for race day, the way I understood it, decisions. Nothing else about the kid could he have anything to do with in his role as chief operating officer, such as, okay, we're having a driver's meeting, and I notice one driver is missing. Oh, don't worry about him. He's okay. I'll give him a pass. Really? Okay. Well, there is a restraining order that Gibbs tried to put on Chris Gabehart because he showed up in his Spire apparel, and he was actually at St. Petersburg yesterday for the truck race. They tried to get a restraining order so he couldn't work for Spire, and it went to a judge, and the judge said, and as a female judge, she said that they need to have a resolution by tonight, Sunday night, tonight. Otherwise, she's going to rule on it tomorrow, on Monday. I can't.
No judge is going to take away somebody's livelihood.
And she said as much, But then again, is there a no-compete clause? I mean, if it's in the contract, then, maybe there's something to it. On the other hand, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this whole thing. Gabehart is, he should be able to work wherever he wants to work, but if he took stuff with him, is that, this proprietary information, blah, blah. He admitted that he took pictures of pages of notes. But
were they notes that he wrote? And were they notes of things? I mean, here again, at what point do you tell somebody you need to forget all of the things you came up with, and you need to forget all of your knowledge, and now go make a living?
Yeah, and once the pencil hits the paper, is it yours or does it belong to the company?
Well, it's a damn good thing this shit wasn't around a long time ago. Suitcase Jake.
Yeah, Suitcase Jake.
From team to team to team. Yeah.
With a suitcase full of notes from every team you ever worked at. Yeah. I mean, it's true. So now I think it's cut and dried. If there was a no compete clause in his contract, that he's going to probably not be able to work for a while. I mean, what are you going to do? If you signed a contract where it's in there, you can't do it. Now, there's other mitigating circumstances, I'm sure, but I don't understand all of that. And
I think if you left on your own will, yeah, that maybe got more weight to it. But if they fire you, then maybe that no compete doesn't as much. I think that's what people are wondering now. When did he exactly leave? That's going to come into play? I mean, did he leave in November? Because technically he was still there and they were working out a separation agreement, and then they found out that he was going to get hired at Inspire, and suddenly here comes a lawsuit. So now he hasn't been paid for the last month or something like that? Did they let go of him, or did he leave on his own? That could come into play too. The whole thing is just a big mess again, and I think it may get resolved just to prevent all the dirty laundry from getting out in the public again, especially with the 54 car. That doesn't help Gibbs at all.
No, it doesn't, and he's been good to the kid. Gabehart himself said that what it really amounts to is you can't work for anyone else without getting a fight from Gibbs. They don't want you working for anyone else. You can't take a step up and work for anyone else. But he was tired of his role there. He was supposed to be in charge, and he really wasn't. But if he was getting paid that way, pretty much, don't you? I mean, and then they even gave him a $25,000 bonus on top of his COO salary just to babysit the kid during the races, and he still didn't win anything. I don't know. It's a tough situation for everybody involved. At least Gabehart has had enough class to say, don't blame the kid. It's not his fault. He's been through a lot. We all know that his dad died right after he won the championship and what was then the Xfinity Series. It's a terrible story, and he's had that hanging over him his whole time, and he's doing his best, and his mom's running the show, and is she really a businesswoman? Perhaps she is. I can't imagine. Joe Gibbs isn't a stupid guy, obviously. He wouldn't put her in a position that she couldn't handle, but there's so many mitigating circumstances. So it'll be fun to keep an eye on. Tomorrow is the ruling from the judge if they haven't come up with anything by tonight. And you can pretty much be assured they're not going to come up with anything by tonight. There's 3 lawyers. Gabehart has his own. Spire is in the middle of it. And now they have their own. And Gibbs has his own, too. So, good Lord.
So the lawyers win.
The lawyers always win, right? There's just not enough lawyers in this world. We're very glad you're tuned in. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Welcome back to LTN. There was some racing yesterday. Boy, was there ever. First of all, I had really low expectations of what the trucks were going to do on a street course in St. Petersburg, Florida. A very narrow track with limited places to pass, or so I thought. But it was one hell of a race. Ty Majeski was the story of the race, even to come up second. Lane Riggs won the thing, but Ty started 20th, was it? 21st?
22nd.
22nd.
Lane Riggs started 28th and won it. Imagine 2 guys coming from the back. Ty went all the way to the front right after they started the 3rd segment. And was really well on his way. I didn't think that Riggs had anything for him. And he had a kind of a brain fart and overshot the turn. And went from 1st to 6th. At least that's the way I saw it. PJ, was that accurate?
Yeah, he got a little hot in there, and he had a wheel hop thing going on. And when you have a wheel hop, you're just kind of you're along for the ride with the inertia.
Right. Yeah. Well, he dropped to 6th and then proceeded to put on a show again. Of course, now, I wasn't paying attention to Lane Riggs. I was watching Ty because it was just so spectacular doing it not just once, but he has to come back again, and fell just a little bit short at the end and ended up second to Lane Riggs, who really did a nice job himself. And now that was on FS1.
And the surprising part is neither one of those guys are considered road racers. I think that's probably the most interesting part. When you have Connor Mozak starting on the pole in a Spire truck, you kind of figure he'll probably run away with it because he's a road racing guy. But no, the non-road racers and the truck regulars, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all truck regulars. Riggs, Majeski, Rhodes, Smith, and Caden Honeycutt. Not guys you think would be really good on a street circuit, but, they got the job done. So I think that goes to show the talent we have in the truck series, that these ringers just can't come in there and win on road courses with these trucks.
And even after the race, the only one they interviewed was the winner, and they didn't interview any of the truck regulars that got those great finishes. Instead, they focused on the Indy guys.
That was kind of an advertisement for Indy.
Fox has bought the IndyCar series. Have you noticed? And just absolutely, we had to hear about Dario Franchitti and all of that promotion. It was just a promotion for the IndyCar series.
I put MRN on so I could listen to the actual coverage.
Did it line up with the video?
Yeah.
It did?
Yes.
Oh, nice. MRN. Where'd you get that?
Online through the app.
Aha. Okay. I wonder if my Alexa, I can't say it any louder than that or she'll be talking to me here. I wonder if I could get it through her. If I just say, play NASCAR.
Radio is always better than television.
It's much more descriptive, that's for sure.
I interrupted Dan Margetta, though. He was going to say something.
I was going to say, don't forget, Brian, that Majeski has a road course win in the Trans Am Series at Road America.
Well, that's true. That's a long time ago already, but yeah, that's true.
And he's probably got the best average for top 10 finishes at the last road courses that the trucks have run. He is quite a seasoned vet in that regard.
And he's a good sim racer. They do a lot of road racing on the sim, I'm sure.
Oh, they made sure that they talked about that too. The reason that Ty Majeski is doing so good today is because he got the video game before anybody else did. Seriously?
Well, he did, but I don't think that was the only reason he was doing so well.
I was impressed with the whole truck deal. I thought it was going to be kind of a crash fest, just because it's such a tight course and big, heavy trucks on a tight course like that with not a lot of room. But everybody raced really well. I thought it was pretty interesting. Even at the end there, with the fuel problems for the 34 car truck made it really interesting as well. And as far as Ty's concerned, I mean, you probably gave the win away with that move, missing the corner like that. But usually that doesn't results in a worse case than second place. I mean, I thought you did a real good job of rebounding and doing best you can and being right there for to win.
It was a very, very impressive day for Ty Majeski. By the way, I thought maybe he was going to get him in that last corner, but he kind of had to go a little too fast going in there, and it was the same thing on that last turn again. So it cost him a little bit, but what a show. And then, since it's a road course weekend and they go to the Circuit of the Americas, it was the SVG show. My God, he's a man among kids when you get, especially with the Norp series, which is what he raced yesterday. He was sixth coming off the last caution, and by the time they got through the first turn, he was leading. Now, he did have fresher tires than any of the other drivers. He was able to drive it in low, and boy, he made it about 5 wide, didn't he?
Going into that first turn. Yeah. What do you think of Connor Zilish and Corey Day? That could be a little bit of a rivalry going on there.
Day was, I guess not surprisingly, but he was very humble when he was interviewed, and she said, he's over there whining that you didn't apologize to him. Oh, I will. Well, that was the end of that. We almost had a little drama, but we didn't. Day understands, I think, his place and that he's still on the way up. But, I think a lot of drivers aren't real happy that they got to kind of bow to a 19-year-old who has the talent. And everybody else is trying to get to that level of talent. So it was a great race. And if you didn't think that SVG is the best road racer, boy, oh boy, I don't know what you're waiting on. He's the great realization is there. He's the man when it comes to road courses. We're going to sneak away for a break. Look at that, Matt. I'm keeping an eye on the clock. We'll be back right after these messages.
Miller
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
When back in the day when we started this show, the greatest entertainment I thought about our sport was how wild the silly season got. We just got the season underway, and the silly season's already out there. It's amazing to me. I kind of started a little bit, whether you think so or not, with the word this week that Keelan Harvick, who is 12, 13, I forget.
I think he's 13, I think.
He has obviously shown talent, but he was signed for the pipeline for Toyota at that young age. It's absolutely amazing. We were discussing this before we went on, and it has to do with that pipeline, the program that brings drivers up. Ford and Chevrolet, it doesn't seem to me, have a company pipeline, but Toyota does. And, that's a subject in itself. They were pretty progressive here, I think, by signing a 13-year-old driver. Don't you guys think?
Seems to be what... Yeah. Go ahead, PJ.
I was just going to say, when you're hooked in like Kevin Harvick is, though, you know that the money will be there. The talent is already kind of showing itself, really. But then you know that the funding is going to be behind Harvick. And
by the way, Kevin Harvick is an agent. Don't tell me he's not his own son's agent. He was behind that. So,
but it kind of shows Toyota's really the only one that has anything going on. And yes, Keelan is 13, but you have a little bit of it going on with Chevrolet right now, which we're trying to get some insight onto the Spire deal with Tristan McKee, who's a young up and coming guy, and he's going to run the entire Stars Tour this year. With Richie Waters' car and find out what that is. But that doesn't sound like that's a Chevy operation, so to speak. It's more of a Spire sticking the money in there.
Motorsports, right?
So it looks like Toyota is really the only one that's going to grab you from a young age and try to feed you through a pipeline all the way up, because there really isn't anything else going. The rest of them are kind of more individual teams and not so much the manufacturers. And then you got Ford. There really isn't anything. I mean, if you're a super late model racer and you want to be part of the Ford pipeline, there's really nothing going on there.
There isn't, is there? It's very odd. But now the way the rumor mill is already starting up, nobody can, and I agree with this. I can't imagine that Kyle Busch is happy at Childress. He's just not. They're trying. They're not getting the job done. Don't tell me that he forgot how to drive. That's not the case. He's frustrated, and so the rumor out there is that he's going to go to Spire. Is there room at the inn? That's the question at this point.
Well, is that a thing where do you make room at the inn for Kyle Busch? I mean, there was no room at the inn when Dale Jr. came over there, and he made room by moving Kyle Busch at Hendrick, right, to get him there.
There you go.
I mean, Spire's got all the people on paper look like they'd be unbeatable, or they just haven't won any races yet. I mean, look at all the money that's behind Spire right now, all the people that are there, that are in different places there, with even Gapehart going there now. If the sport is a people sport, everybody that's going to Spire right now should make that team, almost unbeatable and great. What are they missing?
Drivers. Look at the guys behind the seat right now.
That's it. I mean, do you put Kyle Busch in there but then you got to get. Do you get the Kyle Busch of old that's got the fire in him, or do you get the Kyle Busch that's kind of beaten down? You have to get back into it right now, because right now I think Kyle Busch is frustrated. So I don't, look at Daytona. He was in it and he backed out. I'm not going to drive to the wreck. I'm going to finish 15th. That was never Kyle Busch before.
Yeah, it's interesting. I
mean, Spire right now, you got Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez. Hocevar is probably the only real keeper there, you would think. Suarez, he hasn't really done anything where he's been. Michael McDowell, he's probably past his prime, you would think. So would a Kyle Busch be better than those two? I would think so, wouldn't you?
If you remember when Kyle Busch signed with Richard Childress, part of the deal was to give a developmental contract to Brexton, his son Brexton Busch. And if I think that's going to go right out the window if Kyle Busch leaves. If he stayed there and suffered through his last years of being where he could possibly win and just not be in the equipment he needs, just so his kid has a ride down the line, I can't see that happening. So, old Brexton, they're all Chevys. So it's not like Brexton is going to leave the Chevy, if there is such a thing, pipeline. But he certainly wouldn't be with Childress anymore. But there's some other ones. There's some other rumors that are out there. Jesse Love. When Jesse Love came to Slinger Speedway several years ago, I think he was 15 or 16 max. He drove a Wimmer car out of Wausau. But he was part of the Toyota developmental program, and Wimmers had a Toyota prepared for the kid to run certain short track races and get his feet wet. And he was good. You could see he was good. He won because he led every lap, but still, he did a really great job, especially when you considered his age. Well, then Jesse Love leaves and he goes over to Childress, which is a Chevrolet, so he abandons, this Toyota pipeline, and he wins a championship over there at Childress. Is there a path to the Cup Series? I'm not sure there is. Austin Hill is probably ahead of him when it comes to who's going to get it next, because United Rentals, I forgot about that till you reminded me, Brian. That's his family company, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been told multiple times, that there's money there, and it's all about the money tree, right? I mean, there's guys in the Cup Series right now that don't really have much talent, but they're out there because they simply can afford to pay their way to keep on going.
We'll talk about Riley Herbst in a second.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's Riley Herbst. Yeah.
But, okay, so starting next week at Phoenix, you're going to see Austin Hill in the Childress number 33 car, United Rentals sponsored. And what they announced this week is that he is going to be sponsored for, quote unquote, several races. We don't know how many, we don't know which ones, but it starts next week. Now, keeping that in mind, Jesse Love might not be all that happy to be suddenly second banana, even though he won a championship last week. So right now they're talking about Jesse Love going to Legacy, which is back to Toyota again, interestingly enough. But Legacy, Dan, aren't they in the middle of a cluster of trying to figure out about the charter?
Well, I thought they won that deal. They have a charter for next year. I think they'll have a third car, won't it? That was the one that they supposedly bought from Rick Ware for the 27 season. If you remember that Rick Ware has two charters. He has the 51 car, and he had the one that was for the 15. Now, last year, the 60 car at Roush leased one of those charters. You can only do that for 1 year. You can't do it for 2 years. So this year, the 60 car is leasing the other charter, which is probably was the 51 now, and Ware's running his second one. Well, 27 Legacy bought one of those, so they're going to get one, and they'll get one from Rick Ware. Now, what does that leave the 60 car? I don't know. Does Rick Ware lose his other one? Do they sell it to him, or is Rick Ware going to continue on with his one charter and then have Roush have to look for one for that third car. So there's a lot.
Look for one. You know what we haven't heard. Any of you can chime in on this. We haven't heard relative comparable values of charters ever since the lawsuit. We don't know what they're going to go for.
I don't know.
And
but they're
is that
permanent
60
now.
car going to just go away, Dan?
What'd you do? I mean, are we going to run open? You can run an open car, but that doesn't make a lot of financial sense unless you have a ton of money. So are the charters worth a lot more now? They're permanent now. Remember that. There wasn't that before.
The way this silly season goes, Austin Hill would end up in the 8 car next year, which I guess makes some sense. This whole thing about sponsorship, I mean, the 8 car has about 8 or 9 sponsors on it, doesn't it? And every week there's a different sponsor on the car. So they do have sponsorship for the car. And if they add United Rentals to that, it wouldn't be enough.
Sponsors with Kyle Busch, or are they with, a lot of times sponsors will sign up because of who drives the car.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, you see that. And the whole thing with Busch and Spire, too, if you think about it, Spire's got a pipeline in there if he's concerned about the kid. I mean, they got trucks. They have a late model program now, or super late model program with Richie Waters' deal. There are places to bring people
TA2 stuff. I think Spire's got their hands in that.
Okay,
yeah.
well,
I mean, Kyle Busch's longest sponsor, I think, is Cheddar's Kitchen. I believe they're on for 10 races. Other than that, they got a mix and match for the whole rest of the year. Lucas Oil, Zone, BetMGM, Rebel Bourbon, Morgan & Morgan.
Don't forget Riley Herbst. He has money. He's got to end up somewhere. I'll run a little over for this break. So there's just all these things that are out there that are fun to keep an eye on, and we'll listen for the drumbeat as time goes on. We're going to sneak away for a break. When we come back, we got some results for you. Hang in there.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Another busy week of racing here. It's strange to see this much dirt racing going on in the month of February as we head into March, but another full week will start Monday. Baker, Florida, the Northwest Florida Speedway, the IMCA Clash on the Coast. For the modifieds, it was Ethan Broxma, IMCA Stock Cars, Hot Rod Snellenberger from right up here in northeast Wisconsin. Took the trip down to Florida and took the money home. That's always a good thing. They did it again on Tuesday night in Baker, Florida. Modified winner was Chaz Baca. He's from Arizona. And in the stock cars, it was Mike Vandermark Jr., and Hot Rod finished second in that one. So a good week for him. Also, Tuesday, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series started their week of racing in Ocala, Florida, the Ocala Speedway. $7,000 to win, and Devin Moran was the winner there. Wednesday night, the Lucas Oil Series back at Ocala, another $7,000 to win. Brandon Shepard picked up the win there. Did it again Thursday night, this time $10,000 to win, and Hudson O'Neill grabbed the win at Ocala. Friday night rained out, lots of rain in Florida. Friday, the only racing that was completed on Friday was in Luxie, Alabama, the Deep South Speedway for the IMCA Clash on the Coast. In the modifieds, Tim Ward was your winner. Stock cars was Cole Farmer. Last night, lots of racing. Believe it or not, they're racing in Pennsylvania. I thought they just got like 3 feet of snow in Pennsylvania, but I guess not. Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, the Lincoln Speedway for the Icebreaker for the 410 Sprint Cars. Chase Dietz got the win there. Out in Bullhead City, Arizona, the Mojave Valley Speedway for the USAC CRA non-wing sprints. Kevin Thomas Jr. grabbed the win there. Down in Casa Grande, Arizona, the Central Arizona Raceway for the ASCS 360s. Justin Peck was your winner. And in the IMCA Modifieds, it was Luke Silber. I believe it was Austin Cool finished second in that race, so he had a good run in that one. Merced, California, the NARC 410 sprint cars. Brad Sweet, who said he was retiring. I guess not. He picked up the feature win there.
What does NARC stand for?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I'm sure it's an acronym for something. Luxie, Alabama, night number 2 at the Deep South Speedway for the IMCA Clash on the Coast. The modifieds was Spencer Hartwick, and the IMCA stock cars was Kurt Lund. And finally, the big money race of the weekend was in Ocala, Florida, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. $25,000 to win. And Hudson O'Neal, don't look now, but Hudson O'Neal may be the Dirt Late Model Guy of the Year. That is his 7th feature win already, and March 1st is first today. So he's on a heck of a tear. He's beaten everybody. RTJ, he's got 1 win this year. So look out, everybody. Hudson O'Neal is the man this year. Every year there's like one guy who pretty much dominates, and I think it's going to be him. That is everything for this week.
All right, so on to the asphalt side of things. Last Sunday, excuse me, Superfest at Cordele Motor Speedway down in Georgia. The super late model winner was Tristan McKee. Stephen Nassy was 3rd. Bubba Pollard was 12th. Yesterday and last night, the ARCA Menard Series West was out at Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway in Bakersfield.
That's the name of the place.
It is. Anyway, the winner was Mason Massey. The Cars Tour was running last night at Southern National Motorsports Park in North Carolina. The late model stock winner was Caden Quapple, and there was a bit of fireworks at the end of that one as well. Pro late model winner was Mason Walters. Keelan Harvick was 2nd, Max Reeves was 4th, and Jaden Johnson finished 10th in that.
Did you see where
race.
Caden Quapple started that race? He started at the back. I think he started like 29th or something. 29th, yes. So that's an impressive run for the kid.
Kind of eased that dude into the front stretch wall as he went by. I think that's why he was pissed.
That was why he was pissed.
Little fisticuffs afterwards.
But that guy's no saint. The Smart Modified Tour was at Florence Motor Speedway. Brandon Ward was the winner. Ryan Newman was 5th. Elliott Sadler in that one, too. He finished 18th. The UARA National Tour at Auburndale Speedway down in Florida. Stephen Nassy picking up the win, and he actually ended up having to really fight his way into it because he never qualifies well. He ended up running a last chance qualifier to get it into the main, and he ended up winning.
Slobberknocker?
Yeah, that was a total shit show. Kendrick Cryer ended up 10th. Jared Irvin was 12th. Brazen Bennett 16th. And Rich Bickle never got into the main. He ended up 7th in the second last chance qualifier, and then he finished 8th in the non-qualifiers race. Guessing he just had some handling issues.
It was, as he told me, a 1999 Pathfinder chassis. So, I'm sorry, left-hander, not Pathfinder, left-hander. So,
well, that's the results.
You drag a car all the way down there. I mean, he must have had some confidence in it, you know.
I think it's a car they picked up down there, from what I understand. So, somebody had it down there, I believe.
When I talked to Lowell Bennett when we were at the race over Thanksgiving, at the Freedom Factory, he had told me that, I guess he's got a place down there in Florida, and that he's going to start running all the specials at, what's it called?
Auburndale.
Is that? It's
Brazen was in the race last night. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. What did he do? He was back.
I saw he had a mechanical problem or something. He pulled off. It was probably about halfway, a little past halfway. He got involved in one of the wrecks. One of the guys that spun. In turn 4, he was part of that, but then something happened to the car because I saw him. He just pulled off the track.
Now that was televised, correct?
It was on as a UARA show, so those are on Ultra Broadcasting now. But it was also because of the other divisions that were there. Pit Row TV also covered it, so I was able to watch it off Pit Row.
Which makes me wonder what's going to happen for the Rattler, if it is just going to be on the Ultra Broadcasting, or if there will be another series that'll carry.
When is that, PJ?
That is coming up in March. I got to look at the 3rd weekend.
This month, as
14th,
we say.
I think, right? Is it the 14th or the?
No, it's the 20th,
20th, 21st?
24th, yeah. Well, the 21st should be the main race. Saturday, the 21st.
21st, coming up 3 weeks. Okay. Boy.
Toby's still building the car.
Oh, that was my next question. How are we prepared for that?
He's still building. He likes to pet on a car until the last minute.
It seems to be working out pretty nice for him. Yeah. Hey, we were talking about Jesse Love. That 33 car which is going to start next week with Austin Hill and his family sponsor, United Rentals. It is going to be in the race today at Circuit of the Americas. Is Jesse Love a road course racer?
Yeah, he's pretty decent at it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
a lot of the guys-
multifaceted.
Yeah, I think you got to be kind of. It's not a straight oval versus road course as it used to be in the past. If you're coming up now, you almost got to be a little bit of both. And I think a lot of the kids coming up, they run some of that Trans Am stuff and all the other series that do some road course racing just to get some seat time and to do that. Because if you can do the road course thing, you're kind of light years ahead of a lot of the oval track cup guys that have been there a while that haven't gone out and done it.
Like with any job, the more you're diversified, the better off you are.
It
He's C4 Energy Chevrolet today. That's what he's in.
C4 Energy?
Yes.
I got to tell you, these video games are quite the thing. You can you're prepared when you get to these races, and you know what to expect, and you're not just jumping in and saying, "Oh, looks like the road turns here." No.
The sim is very, very realistic. I mean, it's crazy how good they've gotten that. The only thing it doesn't have the old seat of the pants feeling. You know, I mean, I look at last week at Atlanta. If I'm in a video game and I'm in the second row in a green-white checker, I can just bury the guy in front of me and I don't feel it. But in real life, when you do it, you feel it. So that's what it's missing. It's just missing. It's got all the fundamentals right, but doesn't have that the it factor, the seat of the pants kind of feel that you have by actually doing the car. It's scarier doing it in real life than on behind a video screen.
We'll be back after these messages.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Welcome back. Nice to have you. Brad Keselowski, if you'll remember, had Joey Hand, Rosie Hand and her 5 sisters. He was going to be standing by in case Keselowski couldn't make it because he wasn't sure road course was going to be okay for him because he's been hurt. And he's decided to run the entire race. He said the only way he would have got out of the car is if he was in pain or he was so slow. And he did qualify 26th, but he said he's going to run the whole race. So I don't even know if Joey Hand is even there. Not sure. Also, Kyle and Samantha Bush, you will recall they were suing Pacific Life for $8 million for mismanagement of their money, and they reached an out-of-court settlement, which means nothing will be publicized about it. It could have been a cup of coffee for all we know, but so that got resolved this week too. And IndyCars are 2 weeks in a row they're racing with NASCAR. Today they are the show. They're going to be starting in about 6 minutes on Fox. But next week, on Saturday, they're going to be right here in Phoenix racing along with, of all things, the Norp Series. Brian, that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. A lot of new things going on in IndyCar this year. If you happen to watch the race, probably the biggest one of note, Will Power will not be in his number 12 Penske car. He was moved out of that seat last year for David Malukas. So Power is in the Andretti 26 car, which was vacated by Colton Herta. Colton Herta's not there. He moved on to the Formula One. He's a test driver for the new American Formula One team. 25 cars this year instead of the 27. The Prema Racing team that had Robert Schwartzman, who was the pole sitter at Indy last year, and Callum Ilott, that team not financially able to get to the first race of the year. They still want to make it to a couple more later in the year, but they're not there. So you got 25 cars to start the season. New guys, new faces you're going to see. Mick Schumacher, who was a Formula One driver a couple years ago. He's in the series this year. K.O. Collette, Dennis Hauger, two guys that moved up from the Indy Lights scene. And Roman Grosjean is back in the seat this year. Guys who are out, Jacob Abel is gone. Delvin DeFrancesco is out. I said Colton Herta is out. And Connor Daly does not have a ride this year. So unfortunate for him, he was a crowd favorite. If you remember a couple years ago in Milwaukee, he finished on the podium, and the crowd loved it. So, new faces, new names, new season about to get going. They have the longest off season, I think, of any motorsports. They've been off since Labor Day weekend last year when they finished their season. So Scott McLaughlin and Marcus Ericsson will lead the field to green in a couple minutes from the streets of St. Petersburg. So
I like the fact that they're running double headers or with the NASCAR races. I think that's pretty cool. If you're in St. Petersburg to get to see the trucks and them, and especially in Phoenix next week, I would love to do that. IndyCar race in the afternoon and then the O'Reilly series at night. It's a pretty cool full day of racing with two different types of series. I'm thinking next year, Brian, I think you and I might be there for that.
Absolutely. Yep. And again, kind of some mixed reviews. There's a lot of the teams and drivers that like the idea of it. Pat O'Ward, he was kind of outspoken. Pat O'Ward's outspoken anyway. If you've ever seen any of his comments, he don't like it. He doesn't want to be
Mexican with an Irish name.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be playing second fiddle to NASCAR. But with Fox owning IndyCar now, I think this is a perfect opportunity to get more eyes on that sport and get it together. And I mean, fans are always kind of crunched for time. So 2 races in one spot, that's exactly what people are looking for.
And right now, that O'Reilly series is outdrawing IndyCars viewership-wise. So until you can pass those numbers, you're going to be the sports series.
Yep.
I got to say, though, whoever's doing the marketing ads for the Indy guys is phenomenal. Those Indy ads, those promos that have been running, they're fantastic.
You see the Will Power one? He's going to give sign language lessons.
Yes!
That's awesome.
They're hilarious, and they're engaging, and whoever's doing those should get a big award.
And that's something IndyCar really needs to get out to people, because if you go to a race, these guys are very approachable. They're very personable. It's not what you saw in the 90s when you had the Andrettis and those that were like untouchable, Danny Sullivan, those guys that you really couldn't talk to. The group that IndyCar has in there now, I mean, those guys, at Road America, they go out in the campground and they search out people, talk to people constantly. Pat O'Ward, you can stop and talk to him anytime. They're great at that. And you got to push that out to the people. And maybe with NASCAR and IndyCar together, that will open the eyes of the people that run NASCAR that, hey, let your drivers get out. Let the people in there. Let the people see, because that's the big thing that's holding NASCAR back is your access to the drivers compared to what IndyCar and the other series have.
And they used to be the setter. They were the sprint setter for it,
Yep.
Brian, most of what I know about IndyCars I learned from you. But just because you told me about Will Power here, now I'm suddenly going to be a Will Power fan. When they shit on a guy like that, I like it when he comes back and sticks it right back where it came from.
Yes.
I hope he comes back and wins. That would be awesome, as far as I'm concerned. All right. So what we got to do, we got to make a pick today. I think I'm going to start with Brian today. We're racing at the Road Course Circuit of the Americas. Brian, you're first.
Well, SVG is the obvious pick, but you're not going to let us take SVG.
I would say let's all pick somebody other than the obvious SVG.
Well, then I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick, 3 for 3.
Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. PJ, you're next.
Do you really have to ask me?
All right, 12. I wrote it in. He's cute.
Blaney. No, it's not just because of that. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
man.
right. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say.
He's always up front. He's always up front.
He is.
All right. Well, I'll take the other obvious road course guy then. If we can't take SVG, I'll go with Connor Zilic. Yeah, he's a rookie, and it'd be kind of hard coming from the back where he's starting right now. But
the odds.
His odds are pretty high. They give him the same odds as SVG, so a lot of people think he can get it. So I guess I'll go with the rookie. He's going to win a race sometime this year. I guess maybe a bit of road course.
I was going to take the 54 car of Ty Gibbs, but I crossed it off the last second. I'm going with Christopher Bell. He's got to win one of these. I'm sure it is. Hey, here's something we want everybody to remember. Real all race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey. For all of us involved with the program, we appreciate you tuning in every Sunday morning and downloading us everywhere. And we'll see you next week.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of the station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.